Hello, everybody. I don't know what happened to my last video. It says that it was removed by the publisher, which I don't never remember removing it, so I don't know what happened there. I kind of took a back seat to the Skavens that I was working on. You guys all picked a Skaven for me to do, and I kind of, I kind of just stopped working on it. I started, I started to want to do some. I had an idea in my head, and I wanted my Death Guard to be orange, not green, like a lot of the Warhammer 40k players. A lot of the Death Guard is green, like the majority of it is green. I just want to do it orange, so I picked up, like you guys already said, I already showed you this. I picked up the Plague Drone and thought I would test it out. Really wasn't something I was even interested in painting. I just wanted to put the orange on it and do some ideas that I had, and it ended up coming out. I'm satisfied with it. I kind of like it, and but when I was doing it, watching some videos on YouTube, there was a community question, and it'd be like, for one of your favorite figures, what would the song be if you could put a song to your figure? And to me, I picked Miley Cyrus's Like a Wrecking Ball, and I built the walls all busted up in here and made it look like it was dragging a piece of wall there, you know. So I kind of wanted to keep the theme. I kind of wanted to keep the theme throughout on the bases of the Death Guard. So I've been working on the bases, and I'd started to paint the figures and whatnot. I just finished this guy today. Um, I was able to build, do a lot on the display, make him the way I really wanted to. See if you guys can, yeah, keep him in focus. I mean, they're so full of detail, all those little skulls there, and then I built all the base using coffee, cat litter, cork, a dollar store necklace. All the skulls are from Citadel, and then, I got him all painted up and everything. I got sucky ass light today. Come on. Focus. There it goes. And so I'd been working on him. And then, I don't know if I showed you guys this one. I just finished him today. And then, I got him finished last week. And like I said, I made all new bases and everything for him. Now all the bases pretty much are matching. Let's see, get that over there in camera view. And then here, if you guys hadn't noticed, I went back and I drilled out all my guns, and I put aluminum tubing in them. I'm going to start, I'll do my Space Marines that go along with this set at a later date. But right now I just drilled them out, and that way they get kind of a more realistic. What really made me happy is my daughter come down here, and she was like, "Dad, is that real chain?" So I'm glad that I got the chainmail looking like an 8-year-old thought it was real metal. And then this right here was the first one I done to see if I even liked the color scheme on to the guys. So, and like I said, man, I zoned out last couple weeks, and I just really focused on doing the bases. I don't know, for some reason I just really enjoyed doing the bases. Now this one right here, like I said, this one right here makes it look like he's running in through the wall. If you see the way I broke the wall up for the sword over there, and it's like he's just rushing in, trying to catch him, getting the camera view, like he's coming in just, you know, trying to catch him by surprise. And then this little guy here too, I got him like he's walking through the wall, if you look at this way, you know. And then it was just great fun doing all the bases, man. So I spent a couple hours last week just redoing the bases, painting the cork, laying stuff out, you know. And then this guy right here is like, he's like, what, make a move. And then, you know, and it really changed the appearance of the guns a lot when I drilled out the barrels and put in the tubing. I really like this guy. You know, then I put a request out on some of the YouTube Facebook pages, as I would like to find some leftover chaos emblems and stuff, because on the back of the walls I would like to do something with the chaos emblem sitting there hanging. You know, so I've been looking at the Bits Box and eBay and stuff like that, and some of the other groups, but you know, we'll have to see. Then this wall here, I kind of wanted just like, oh crap, is it going to fall, is it not going to fall, kind of thing. And then I left me room so that way, if I can't find the plastic pieces, what I want to do is find 2 or 3 plastic pieces that would either be Chaos or Nurgle. Both they're both part of the same factions, but you know, different clans, or you know, they have a different symbol for their Chaos, and Nurgle has a different symbol for the Nurgle. So if I could find 1 or 2, I planned on casting them in resin, and then I want to put them on the back sides, you know, just to hang around somewhere, like they've tagged a place, like it's their they've already claimed that area. And then this little fat guy here, he has like a grenade launcher. So what I did is I drilled his gun out, put a small piece of tubing in there, and then a larger piece, so that way it looks like, you know his shot is going to hurt. Then, you know, I got him based up with his little skulls. One of my good friends, Richard, over there at the Nerd Life, I had contacted him and was talking to him on the phone when I was building these bases, just, you know, talking to him, asking him how his day was and stuff. He's going to have a series of build videos coming up here in a little bit, and it's going to be more mentally established than mine are. I just go whatever I'm thinking of, I go to work and build. But if you guys ain't subscribed to the Nerd Life, go over there and check out his channel. He does the Q&As, which is really good. There's some silly questions, there's technical questions and stuff. Richard does his best to answer all them, and it's questions that we leave as a community back over to there. Some other channels I really enjoyed watching this past week, The Perfect, The Wargamer, Sonic Sledgehammer Studio, Spiky Bits, Bits Box. I really like, Craig has went live a couple times this week. I got to go in there and sit down and chat with Craig while he was actually sat down at his desk building. Being in the being overseas, their times are different, so you know, it's kind of hard to catch them. But Craig, I like Craig's channel. Craig actually owns a website called the Bits Box, and you can go over there if you're into the minis. And he has a bunch of single bits, you know, parts of stuff that you guys can get and add up to it. But it is in the UK pound, so you know you're going to have to do your money transfer. So it's a little bit higher than what it shows on the Bits Box. Idic Beer 40K, I've talked about his channel before. Nick's a cool guy. He goes in there, he shares a lot, he's very supportive. Now, I came across Wizard Wargaming by watching, right now, Nick at Idic Beer was doing the painting, New Year's New Painting Challenge 2018. One of the reasons why I started working on my Death Guard, and then he also's running the Get It Painted challenge, which is I'm doing for the Skaven. But inside of Wizard Wargaming, he's working on his Tyranid stuff, and I've really enjoyed the paint job and stuff that he was doing with the Tyranids. Man, they just look so cool. I ran out and I went out and got this. It's their cheapest set. But the way Wizard Wargaming is doing his, he's got big guys, he's got these guys, he's got little guys. So I asked Richard over at the Nerd Life what he thought about Tyranids, and it come to find out he has a group of Tyranids. Nick has a group of Tyranids, and you know, the Tyranid community, there's all kinds of good ideas in there. Now, I haven't done anything with the figures yet. I just went and picked them up. I like the way they look and the details in them. But they have some huge guys. They have these little guys here. I can't say the name right. Termagants. And then, you know, they're not as big as the Death Guard, but they're still full of detail and stuff. And I don't know how I'm gonna do these guys running around amok or something. You know what I mean? But like I said, I got this resin bust from Gilbert over at Red Dragon Model Works, and it's just an alien resin bust he sent me. And I was telling Richard on the phone, I thought I would do something kind of like this on a base, is like this is their prize possession or whatnot, so they're going to guard it like if the invasion is coming. They don't want this to be jeopardized, you know, like this is their mainframe, and they're going to protect their mainframe from hackers or what have you, you know, because these are part of the Gene Stiller fleet. You know, they're, you know, how people always say the aliens mind controlling and stuff. So I was going to do this in a way as they were protecting it, per se, you know. And these guys are just cool. This little dude here's got his tongue sticking out. I mean, they're basically the same miniature with just small variations. These right here were just snappy and they're very easy. It was just the head to the tail on one side, and then this 3 sets of legs on the other side. You know, they just pop in. Richard has talked to me about liquid green stuff because there is some fairly good gaps where these two came together. So, you know, it'll be some new stuff I'm going to try into the miniatures. But on one of Idic Beer's, I forgot whose video it is. I think it was Nick's video, where I kind of broke, well, you look at my car stats, you could tell I wasn't going to do that. But they most of the time saying that you shouldn't buy another kit if you still have kits in gray plastic. And because so far all the Citadel stuff is either gray or it's color coded, like these were green and my Space Marines are blue. But if you're in bare plastic, you shouldn't be going buying another kit unless you bought it all at once to build a whole army. But when I started seeing a lot of these guys painted, I wanted to get them while the $10 box was on the shelf. You know what I mean? So I ran out there and got those. Guys, I've been having great fun, and I know my car side viewers are, you know, wanting me to come back to the automotive stuff. These right here have just been such a great fun. It took what I was doing as a chore back to an enjoyment, and I think it was a much needed break. What I think I'm gonna do, the Skaven are due by the end of the year for next 2018 Get It Painted challenge. I think think I'm going to finish these guys off here just to get the Death Guard part done. And then, like I said, I want to come back and finish the Volkswagen. I sat down the other night. I don't know if I showed this yet, guys. I sat down the other night. I did the interior. I washed it up, made it look all junkety junk. So then I got to get the motor painted. The weather's actually changing this week, so I'll be able to do that. Be able to go out there and get the motor painted, and kind of get this one right here a little wrapped up. And then I was watching Velocity Channel here in the United States. It's a car-based channel, and they were redoing a Hellcat, and that makes me want to get out my C1 conversion and do the the ScaledWorld.net Challenger project for C1 and for Pete over there at Scaled World. So just let me, I'm going to pull this apart and show you guys what all I actually did get done on there. Guys, I bought a cheap primer, and it sucks. It flakes off so easy. I went and bought this, and I do not like it. It does not stick very well. So, I got a lot of touch-up to do on the interior. But here's what I did to the interior. It's flocked 8-ball on the shifter. Then I put it like, you know, you had to have seat belts to pass inspection. So 3 of them matched. This back one didn't. He just went to the salvage yard and got a set of seat belts. And then here's the dash. It's kind of dirty, you know. And I just did some trim. And basically that's about it on the interior. Nothing really fancy. Put the dash in there like that, and it'll look like that. And then I'm, you know, just try to put some staining down the seats, and, you know, like an old car would look. I still ain't done nothing to the chassis yet. And then, like I said, then I plan on getting out there and getting the motor painted. I'll dissect all the stuff I put on, get the motor painted, then I can get that set in, and then basically it's just chassis detailing and stuff. So, but it's gonna sit here in a, oh crap. Stay on the table. And then it's gonna set, I'm gonna have the motor and all that's gonna set in like a brand new engine bay, like they did. Like the outside is trash, but inside the engine bay is all giggity, you know. And I'll try to do maybe a brace or something across through there. But that's just my vision of it, whether pull it off or not. And if you guys, my friend, another thing I saw on Facebook this week, my friend Tom over there at Woods Chapel Hollow, he came across, I'm going to say he got involved, like shared ideas, points, and views with the Resin Model Ranch, which is a guy we all know, took over some molds, changing the name, and Tom got to look at some original stuff, and Tom put his views in there as a model builder, as someone that's actually active in the community, gave his suggestions on what we should see the light of day again on some original molds. And I'll tell you what, Tom has a great taste in automotive history. So some of the subjects that are coming back are going to look so cool. So remember the Resin Model Ranch, because there are going to be some nice offerings returning to us, model builders. Well, heck, guys, not very long video. I just wanted to update you. Here's what I just got finished, and I really, really like this, and I really enjoyed the bases. That, you know, like spending the time and working on the bases, I really enjoyed. But as of right now, on all of them that I've done so far, right now he's my favorite for some reason. I don't know why, but I just really enjoy him. There's so much cool detail. And, you know, these are some of the stuff that you really have to see in person to get the enjoyment out of them. And then it's even so much more fun painting them, guys. The little arts details and stuff. Tom, he went and picked him up a little psychedelic bear. His is metal, though. He related to me. His is metal. So, you know, he's going to go out there and, you know, do one. I just encourage you guys to do at least one. And if you don't like it, send me your extra bits. Then right here, these guys here are super cool. What I was thinking about something like these, if you get, I was thinking, what if you took, here, I'll pull it out real quick. Let's just say for giggles, if you wanted to build like a pest van, you could put this guy on top. Be like, do you have an alien problem? Do aliens keep invading? And then you can glue them to the top. And then it could be like a Napa truck or something. Or maybe they got a seam straight down the back. We could cut them and put them in the side and make like a 3D psychedelic van or something. Because they're look at the height of them. They're not overly big, you know. What was it in whatchamacallit, Toy Story, where Pizza Planet, they have the big rocket ship on the roof. You know, you can have this right here, like, you want to go play laser tag, follow the van, you know, something like that. It's, guys, it's plastic, man. Can you imagine the stuff you could do? What was it, Maximum Overdrive, where the diesel has a great big front thing. You could take some of these little head skulls or something like that for a hood ornament. Dang, look at the warp on that AMT. Great job, quality control. Holy smack. Sometimes you open up a kit, you get all excited about building, and then you see stuff like that. I was like, what were you thinking? You just charged me 30 bucks for this? Then let me show you guys this one last thing before we end the video. Richard is always doing, he just posted up a commission that he's done over there on the Nerd Life channel, and it really does look so great when you put a figure in motion instead of just standing there. I don't know how to manipulate that, into this. But I drilled it out. I made my own gun. I got to fill up a little bit. I made like my own double barrel on this one, and this guy here's got like a triple barrel, and like a big grenade launcher in the middle of bullets coming at you. Then I drilled them out to where that way they went into the chambers. Then I drilled out the jet engines to make it, instead of them just being stuck flat like that, I drilled it out on this one to make it look like it's actually got a turbine. Then, like I said, I got some gluing and some filling to do before I found out what sizes of tubing I wanted to get in there. But I was thinking about taking some milliput and filling in the helmets on these guys, on these flyers, because Wolf Brother Mephos, over from Frost and Fist channel, he just did 2 AdMech robots. Man, I really like the look at the robots. And basically they're kind of like this, but about maybe like 6 times bigger. And Castelline robots from the Adeptus Mechanics faction. I really like the way those looked, but man, they're expensive. And I was wanting to maybe like fill this whole helmet up and, you know, kind of do it like those robots. And then that gun just looks sick. I don't know why I picked the 3 like that, but something in my head says, go 3, my lord. And then probably the kids watching Shrek. And then, you know, I got the double barrel over here. I need to clean that up. And so my mind is just racing. Even with these little bitty figures, there's still so much customizing and personalization you can do within them. Like Nick at Idic Beer, he's doing Noise Marines right now, and he's got them ripping some kind of alien tentacle. He's ripping it in half, and Richard built something for one of his commission builds. He got the guy leaning like he's going to ram into something. There's so much personalization you guys can still do to these, like I did on my bases. And, you know, painting them your own color is one thing, but putting a story behind it, man, while you're building it feels so good. Because when we're building the car stuff, I'm sitting down here and be like, if I'm building a big motor, you know, you make a motor sound, or, you know, you get the car just done, you want to go, you know, make a squirrely out sounds and stuff. But it's great. This side of the hobby has led me into some great friendships and really opened my mind up. And I can already see from painting little stuff like this to actually doing a much better looking dash. You know, the little bitty handles I done, all the small little trim that I've done, it's been working very well over to my automotive side of the hobby. Learning brush control, using minimal amount of paints and stuff. So it's been a learning tool, and it's been an enjoyment at the same time. So my next situation is, do I finish this guy, because he would be, well, let me say, this guy and this guy are the last of the No Fear Death Guard I need to do. And then I added the 3 singles from the Easy Build set. So would it be, I don't know which one to do. I'm still a little hesitant on doing this guy, because there's just so much, and you see all the smoke and everything coming off of him. This was the first thing of smoke that I've ever done. It's got pale gray, stone gray, it's got Athonius camo green shading on it. It's got non-oil. Then I went back with the deck tan to highlight the smoke, you know, give it some variation. And I don't know if I quite enjoyed it or pulled it off yet. I'll probably take this little dude with me the next time I run over to Games Workshop. Usually they do a hangout on Wednesdays and Fridays. I didn't make it today. I had appointments today. I'll probably run by there and see what they think of the smoke, and if they think it you know, I pulled it off, I'll probably won't be so discouraged about doing the Lord of Contagion. But I don't know, if I finish him, then all the Plague Marines, not the Lord, but all the Plague Marines for the No Fear set will be done. I already highlighted him with the silver, but then, you know, you still got these other 3 guys. I don't know. I kind of want to attack this mouth. He's got a lot of good looking chainmail on him, and I kind of want to attack that mouth, but I don't know how to work around it. And then look at the huge skulls on his hand. I want to paint those because I really like these little skulls that they're putting inside their shoulders. But he's got huge ones. Let's see if I can't show you that. He's got huge ones right there on that power claw. Let's see. Oh, and yeah, he's got bigger ones even on his shoulder. I don't know. And that's where I get a little frustrated. I let you guys pick this one. I posted up on Facebook, left or right. Well, let me do it this way. I posted up on Facebook left or right, and you guys picked the left. Now I need to go on there and have you guys pick a number between 1 and 4. Well, that's about it for today. Shopper, I hope you be able to have a good success with your eye surgery. Hope the rest of you guys are feeling well. Hope you guys are still building. And hope you guys continue to follow me as I go through this miniature adventure. I swear, man, these are so much fun, and I've really been enjoying it a lot. And man, I've been craving, like I told Richard on the phone this week, I've been craving, like you see videos all the time where my neighbor knocked on the door and handed me some leftover kits from when he was a kid. I so wish I could open up a box in the mail and just have, like, I told Richard it was 50 pounds of spare bits, and I was just in here like a little kid just building all kinds of crazy stuff out of bits. But something about watching these guys take this figure here. Well, let's do a more common one. A lot of guys are taking the easy build because you can get these 3. You can get these 3 for $15 in this set. And to watch what some of the guys are doing, because when you buy a real kit, when you're not buying these easy build kits or the game field kits like what I did with the No Fear, when you buy a real kit of Plague Marines, it's giving you a few different weapon options, a few different head options, stuff like that. So what they're doing is, if you didn't want this fat guy here with the tentacle arm, these guys are cutting it off, putting another weapon in there. They're switching some of the backpacks. If you notice that some of the backpacks are different, like his is like this, and then this one here's got all the spiky bits and stuff out of it. They're switching things around, and even though it's a common kit, these $15 easy builds, they're making them stand out totally different. And with web pages like eBay, Horda Bits, Bits World, Craig over there at the Bits Box. If you guys haven't found out about Craig yet, over at the Bits Box, man, you know, there's just so many different little things that you can do to to make these your own, instead of saying, oh, well, I've seen 11 of these painted already. You know, that's why I went and did my own bases. My bases are bigger than what they come with. I don't have the bits accessories to create anything, so I did my creation in the paint scheme and in the basing, and you know, I've been slowly building up bits, and they just didn't, the bits I have now just didn't fit into the Death Guard stuff. Like, I got lots of bits left over from the Skaven, building them the way I wanted to, and almost every Skaven I've customized in my own way. So that was cool. And then I got a few leftover bits from when I had the Nurgle set, when I bought the first set of Nurgles. So I have some bits left over from that, but the arms are real small and skinny. They wouldn't fit here, and a lot of the swords are all the same when you go through the Nurgle aspect of the Plague Bearers and stuff. You know what? I ought to kick myself in the teeth. I look up at my display right now, and I see icons that I could use on my wall, but I don't want to tear that display apart. Oh man, this model building stuff is psychotic. It's an addiction. Crazy, guys. But here it is. I rambled on for 30 minutes. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I just want to, you know, encourage you guys to be able to, like Tom said here a few minutes ago, build what makes you happy and build what keeps you enjoyed. So these are the way that they're calling this guy out to be painted. And that's going to be our fat guy right here. If you notice, so far he's one of the fattest. He's one of the fattest guys. Yeah. And it's right here. And this is a Games Workshop suggestion. And they're trying to tell you what all kinds of Citadel paints that they've used and the way they've done it. What I've used so far is Fireburst Orange out of a rattle can. Then on my armor trimming, I've used all brass. On my tentacles, I've been using pale pink from Stynylrez, and then I've been going over it either with Jaruki Violet or Carabin Crimson. Depending upon the shade. This, you know, the Stynylrez primer stuff. If you guys are wanting to try some stuff like this, Richard at the Nerd Life, he has a new web store coming up, and it will be the Nerd Life. And inside of, I mentioned before that he's got like the Walking Dead game and some other games already open for you. But he's in talks with Badger to do some Badger distributing here in the U.S. Richard is located in Texas. And then he also informed us this week on his video that he is in the proceedings of being a Vallejo dealer. So all the paints, you know, you can use Citadel. I've got some Citadel stuff up here. But then all the Vallejo stuff that I've currently been using the last few years, Richard is going to become a direct supplier. And he had mentioned the more you order, the cheaper everything's going to be because of shipping. But he can do from 1 bottle to 3 bottles coming up here. So go over there and check that out. I'll get more information and be able to post it both on my Facebook page over at Mr. Mini Dreams, and we'll be able to give you guys more information over here. But you know, you're looking at $4 or $5 for some of your Vallejo colors, depending upon where you get them from. Citadel, I know some of my colors are $5, and some of my washes are $8. So it'd be a lot better to have somebody that you can make a vast order with versus saying, well, you know, I only sell paints 10 at a time. I purchased a lot of this stuff here through man, now I can't think of it where I was. No, I'm drawing a blank. I know they're in New Hampshire. Scale Hobbyist. A lot of this stuff here came from Scale Hobbyist, and they were all in sets, you know, instead of buying each one individually. Hobby Lobby only holds so many colors, you know. Yeah, no problem, Eric. And that's what I enjoy about the hobby. We all have our own paint that we select. We all have our own kit manufacturer that we enjoy to build from. You know, so, you know, when you get out here, Richard said it best on one of his videos a few weeks ago where he goes, this is the way I do it instead of this is how you should do it, which comes off in some other videos that we perceive to watch. But all I did was recommend it, Eric, and I'm glad that you enjoyed that glue. If you guys have questions, please contact Richard over there at The Nerd Life, and he's in the chat right now. He'll be able to type on his channel, give him a sub. If you have a question, a painting question, a modification question, you guys can contact him and he'll address it in a video, or, you know, try to, you know, answer your question there on the backside. If you guys don't remember, Richard is the friend of mine I chose to last year do the 50/50 raffle for. He's taken a step forward, and with what we generated from him through the raffle, he's given back to us by becoming a supplier and taking care of some of the stuff for the hobby, instead of saying, you know, I'm just gonna do what I like. He's changing paints, different gaming stuff. Richard can do hats and t-shirts, but contact him. He can special do all that stuff for you guys. But contact him. I don't know pricing and I don't know procedures, but I've seen him with beanies, t-shirts. So, you know, maybe he's your somewhere you can go to. Like, I know Tom is in a real car club, so maybe there'd be a promotion or something coming up where Tom and them might need a t-shirt or want some you know, custom hats or something done. There's a few of us that are into model clubs and stuff like that too. So or just get you a shirt made with your own channel, you know. So that there's another supplier there. I'm trying to help Richard get off the ground with this. I'm not paid by Richard in any way, other than I could never repay him for his friendship, his advice, and his encouragement. Coming from a man who has his own family to raise and his own situations in life, Richard has never hesitated to answer a question and give me great feedback on, you know, what I'm doing. So this is just a small token that I can do to repay him. Yeah, much love, Richard. And so with that being said, guys, I've ate up enough of your hobby and time. So I thank you guys for following me today. I hope you guys are enjoying where I'm taking my Death Guard. And we'll see you guys on the next update. I don't know which one to do next. This guy here, I think when I look at him, I think the factory back here, all these factory, I call it factory because look how much stuff is going on. I think that's throwing me off on how should I paint him up? How should I detail him up? But he's got some great artifacts on him that I really want to do. Look at all those skulls in that. Look at all those skulls in that. And then, I don't know, this pipe here is coming out of his shoulder. Does he fart a lot? I mean, what is this exhaust pipe for? I mean, does a guy have a digestion problem? But another thing I thought about doing, and I wanted to post up maybe on Facebook and do, and I don't know how we could do it and it be safe and it be still enjoyable. I want to do a painting, like a painting trade. Like, I'll send this Lord of Contagion to Richard at the Nerd Life, tell him to paint it, and then he sends me a figure, and then I paint it, and then we return it. We don't get to see what it looks like until it's returned, and then we, on our videos, reveal, you know, what it was. If you buy this guy on his own, you know, he's like a $25 figure. And so that's what comes into play, is if me and Richard know each other, we can trust each other, it wouldn't be a bad thing. Richard's got a great group of guys down there in Texas that come over, play with him, and they build together, they do commissions together. That is Frost and Fist, they're from the Frost and Fist. It's Wolf Brother Mefos and Freak. So, you know, he's got 3 guys that he can really do that with. He would be me, Mythos, and Freak, that he could trade a figure to, that he could trust. I could trust sending a figure to Richard. You know, but that's what, in the community, I'd hate to say it, but there's going to be somebody that's going to take advantage of one of our ideas. I would love to box this up, send it to somebody, have them painted, and no matter how it gets, come back and then get to, you know, show it off. And in the same sense, I could paint something for them, and then they can go back to their channel, because to see our work on a video or in a picture, like on Facebook or something, you really don't get the appreciation of someone's art form unless you see it in your hand. Some of these guys, Richard, like I said before, does some great custom work, but some people can't afford to pay someone a commission. I've seen some people do commission painting for like $200, you know what I mean, for a figure. You know, I've seen stuff on eBay that was painted $400 or $500 for a figure, guys. I know there's some great painters out there, and then we have the people that just, they don't care. They're just going to throw some color on it so they can play. So there's pros and cons to the whole idea that I had, but, you know, it's something that we can work out later on and maybe think about in the future. But it'd kind of be like, you don't know what I'm sending you, I don't know what you're sending me. You're going to paint it, I'm going to paint it, we send them back to each other, and then we'll reveal on our channels is like, well, here's the paint exchange I did with, you know. That's just a stupid idea that I had. It's stuff that like that floats around, because in the model car community, we've done buddy builds, we've done group builds. One of my vans, me and my buddy Christopher Liu, he did the interior, I did everything else, and I didn't know what the interior was going to be like until I got it here, you know. And it's some great fun, you know. Challenges yourself. Maybe I sent Richard something that was Death Guard, and maybe he had never approached the Death Guard figure before, so not only gave him something neat to do, it gave him something new that he hasn't done yet, you know. But that's just me thinking. This plastic crack drive you crazy sometimes, guys. But yeah, here's the newest one. I really enjoyed him. I'll get pictures up of him here in a few minutes up on Facebook and stuff, just so you guys can see a better picture of it. But I'll have to sit here and decide which one to go after next, and I'll start working on them tomorrow. You guys have a great day. Enjoy your hobby. Enjoy the time you have with your friends and family. I just lost a friend this week. Dan Cozine, he was a long-term member of the KC Slammers. Was really encouraging for me as I was growing up in the hobby. He always encouraged me to come to their model club. Always gave me great words of encouragement at their contest. He lost his wife some years ago to cancer, and then he passed away Monday. And it's just, reality sinks in. You never know what your tomorrow holds. So enjoy the days you have. Enjoy the days you have with the people you have. So this is Minnie. I'm out. You guys have a great day.